Hello everyone. Today let's start with the class, and today our topic is molecular orbital theory in chemical bonding. Okay, so molecular orbital theory. Actually, what molecular orbitals theory says, it says that that atoms has a electrons, right? So these electrons, when atomic orbitals form molecular orbitals, these electrons are delocalized on whole molecule. Okay, on whole molecule, whatever the electrons are there in atomic orbitals, they delocalize. So actually, when they form the molecular orbitals, when atomic orbitals form the molecular orbital, so suppose atomic orbitals, that molecular orbitals will form by this. So whenever the atomic orbitals, they interfere each other. Okay, when the atomic orbitals interfere, then they form the molecular orbitals. But that interference has two types: constructive interference and destructive interference. So whenever the constructive interference will be there, constructive interference, so what happens is we call it as a bonding molecular orbitals. Bonding molecular orbitals. So bonding molecular orbitals, how we denote? Actually, we know that electron has a wave nature, right? So what is the waveforms of atomic orbitals? What are the waveforms of atomic orbitals? We denote it as a psi A, psi B. Okay, so molecular orbitals, waveforms of the molecular orbitals is equal to, we denote it as psi A plus or minus psi B. Why we are taking it as a plus or minus? Because constructive interference is there, destructive interference is there. For constructive interference, we are calling it as a bonding molecular orbitals, right? So how you can write it? So bonding means we denote it as like this: sigma bonding molecular orbitals psi A plus psi D. This is bonding molecular orbitals. So whenever the atomic orbitals, they interfere destructively, destructive interference, destructive interference. So what happens now? This is anti-bonding molecular orbitals, anti-bonding molecular orbitals. So how we denote it now? Sigma star is equal to psi A minus psi B. This is anti-bonding molecular orbital. Now, if the atomic orbitals, if they don't interfere at all, then what happens? That orbitals, we call it as a non-bonding atomic orbitals. Non-bonding. It's not bonding at all. Okay, that is about the combination. So how the atomic orbitals combine? They combine linearly. Linear combination of atomic orbitals. They combine through this. Linearly it combines, not with the angles. Linearly they combine. So this is about the combination of this one. Now we'll show what is the energy of these wave functions of these atomic orbitals. So that we'll see now. See, suppose this is the energy diagram. This is psi A, psi B. One atomic orbital, this is another atomic orbital. Here we are going to have sigma star, psi A minus psi B, psi A plus psi B, suppose like this. Okay. Now see the energy of these atomic orbitals. Okay. So the energy of bonding molecular orbital is less than the atomic orbitals. Okay, so and the energy of anti-bonding molecular orbitals is more than the atomic orbitals. So this is the energy of this bonding and anti-bonding molecular orbitals. Actually, how many types of diatomic molecules we have? Two types: homonuclear and heteronuclear. Diatomic molecules. How many types we have? First one is homonuclear and second one is heteronuclear, like this, right? Under homonuclear, what is the atoms we get it here, like H2, He2, C2, B2, again F2, O2, so like this. Okay, because same atoms, both are same atoms, so that means homonuclear diatomic molecules. Sorry, okay. Here heteronuclear, hetero means different atoms they combined, like NO, CO, CN, etc. So this type of atoms we call it as a heteronuclear diatomic molecules. Now actually how we denote the molecular orbitals? We know that molecular orbitals are denoted by sigma, pi, delta, etc. Okay, so but we know that sigma orbitals has a symmetry around the bond axis. Okay, sigma orbitals have a bond symmetry around the bond axis, but pi is not having a symmetry. Whatever it may be, what is the energy order? What is the energy order of these molecular orbitals? This one, see, bonding means pi, sorry, sigma, pi and all will come. Anti-bonding means sigma star, pi star. This will come. Now, what is the energy order? We'll see now. Actually, you know that the general energy diagram of these molecular orbitals are one is and all we won't take here, just from 2s we'll take here. So 2s orbital, this is 3s orbital of another atom. Suppose H2 we are taking, so 2s orbital of 1H here, this is another H here. So what happens here? This is bonding, this is anti-bonding. Okay, so sigma star 2s, sigma 2s. Now we'll take the 2p orbitals here. Okay, this is 2p orbital, sigma, sorry, this is 2p orbitals, this is 2p orbital of one more atom. Now how they combine here? Sigma 2p, pi 2p. Now pi star 2p, sigma star 2p. This is the general energy diagram of molecular orbitals. See here, sigma 2s. Then we are going to have here down we will be having sigma 1s, sigma star 1s also will be there. But that I have left it because this is common for 1s and 1s star are common for everything. Okay. So sigma 2s. After that we are going to fill the electrons in sigma star 2s. Then we are going to fill the electrons in sigma 2p. Then pi 2p. Pi star 2p, sigma star 2p. This way we are going to fill the electrons. Now, actually this is okay. This is for general diagram for if they have the atoms has the atomic number, if the atoms has the atomic number greater than or equal to 8. Okay, when we are going to get this diagram, whenever we have atomic number more than 8 or greater than or equal 8 or more than 8. That means see here O2, F2, this way. Okay, 8 more than 8 atomic number. So what is the energy order of energy? Now we'll write here. Now what is the energy order of these molecular orbitals? Sigma 1s, sigma star 1s, sigma 2s, sigma star 2s, then sigma 2px, then pi 2px is equal to pi 2py less than pi star 2px is equal to pi star 2py. Then at last sigma star 2px. So this is energy order for the atoms which have greater than or equal to 8. That means for O2 and F2. Okay, so when we are going to write this energy order for the atoms which have less than 8. Okay, the atoms which have atomic number less than 8, how the energy order difference is here. See here, this sigma 2px will get a high energy. It will become high in energy. So it will come here and this will come here for the atoms which have atomic number less than 8, like C2, B2, F2, okay, H2, He2, Be2, that way. So now write the energy energy order for the atoms which has less than 8. Sigma 2s, sigma star 2s. Then pi 2px is equal to pi 2py less than sigma 2px. Pi star 2px is equal to pi star 2py, that is less than sigma star 2px. This is the order for the atoms which has less atomic number less than 8, like H2, He2, B2, Be2, B2, B2, Li2. You know that, right? This. Okay. Why it's becoming? I mean, sigma 2px energy is why it is increasing here. You know that in academics we have done. So when we know that in the period from left to right, when we are going from left to right, what happens is charge density increases. Whenever the charge density increases, the differences, electron-activity differences increases there. But less than 8, atomic number less than 8, what happens is less than 8. This will be the energy order. Here Z is greater than or equal to 8. That means the electron-activity increases. That means the energy gap increases. So it will be the normal energy differences. But whenever we have a less than 8, what happens is they will be close. So they grab, they pull the pi orbitals towards itself. So that's why the energy will be less of pi orbitals here in less than 8, more than or equal to more than equal to 8. So that will have a normal energy diagram. Okay. So what is the why we are taking it as from this? What we can get it? What we can get from molecular orbital theory? Which type of questions we may get it? Stability of the molecule. We can find out stability of molecule. Next we can find out bond order, and bond length. We get the questions from this. Okay, in each exam at least 1 to 2 questions we get from MOT. So stability of the molecule, bond order, bond length. Then we are going to get the magnetic nature of molecule. Magnetic nature of molecule. That means magnetic nature means whether it is a paramagnetic or diamagnetic. And what is the bond order? Bond order means you know that. So whatever the bond order we get, we know that many bonds are there between the two atoms. Suppose N2 bond order is 3. Okay, what is the how many bonds are there between N2 molecule? N triple bond N. Suppose O2 bond order is 2. So how many bonds are there between the two atoms? O double bond O. That way. So bond order decides what is the bond between the two atoms. Bond length, you know that. Whenever the bond order increases, that means the bond will come close. Okay, triple bond is more stronger than double bond. Double bond is more stronger than single bond, right? So triple bond, whenever the triple bond forms, it comes closer. That means very strong. Then what happens? Bond length decreases. So whenever the bond order increases, bond length decreases. Whenever the bond order decreases, then bond length increases. So stability of the molecule, you know that. So here actually these are sigma 1s, sigma 2s, sigma 2px. These are bonding molecular orbitals. So sigma star 1s, sigma star 2s, these stars will denote as anti-bonding molecular orbitals. So from here we come to know that first we will see the stability of the molecule. So here we are going to take NB, Na. So what is the NB? NB is number of electrons in bonding molecular orbitals. So number of electrons, how many electrons? So here after filling up the electrons in this energies, energy of molecular orbital, in these orbitals, whenever we fill the electrons, we have to see that how many electrons we have filled in bonding molecular orbitals. That is NB. Na is number of electrons in anti-bonding molecular orbitals. Anti-bonding molecular orbitals. That means here in these orbitals how many electrons we have filled. That is Na and Nb. Now how can we stability of the molecule, how can we get it? If Nb is greater than Na, if the bonding molecular orbital, bonding electrons, if the bonding electrons are greater than the anti-bonding electrons, then the molecule is stable. If Np is less than Na, then what happens is it is unstable molecule. So by calculating this, by seeing that, you can say that the molecule is whether stable or not. Now how can you find the bond order? To find out the bond order, we have the formula half into Nb minus Na. Okay, what is the bond order? Bond order is half of the difference between bonding electrons and anti-bonding electrons. So this is the formula. So you can calculate. So whatever the electrons are there in bonding molecular orbitals minus anti-bonding molecular orbitals, electrons in the anti-bonding molecular orbitals, then you have half. Then we get the bond order. Right? Now bond length. So bond length means, you know that how you find out the bond length. Bond length is the distance between the two nuclei of the atoms. Two nuclei of atoms, that is the bond length. So whenever the bond order increases, then bond length decreases. Okay, if the bond order decreases, then bond length increases. That you just remember. Now come to the magnetic nature. Okay, magnetic nature. What happens here is, if so we are filling up the electrons in this, right? Whenever we fill the electrons in these molecular orbitals, whenever the electrons are filled, two electrons we are going to fill in the each molecular orbital, right? If the all are filled, otherwise if all are paired here, that means here we are also 2, only here also 2, then that means all electrons are filled. That we call it as a diamagnetic. That means magnetic field will not attract that molecules. Okay, that is diamagnetic in nature. That will not attracted by magnetic field. Now when we call it as a paramagnetic, so if the electrons are unpaired in these molecular orbitals, if the electrons are unpaired means only single electron is there. Suppose whenever we are filling it up, first we fill here in pi orbitals. Okay, whenever we are filling up, first we fill 1, 1, then we pair up. Hopper principle, right? So while filling it, only like this only we have filled it. So again for pairing, we don't have electrons. Then what happens? These are unpaired only. So that when we have that type of electrons, that we call it as the molecule is paramagnetic. That molecule is attracted by magnetic field, that we call as a paramagnetic. This is diamagnetic. So now we see some examples. Now look at the examples. Okay, first we will see H2, simple molecule H2. For this Okay, how can you find bond order, bond length, magnetic nature, stability of the molecule? Okay, now we check it. H2 molecule. How many electrons are there? Are there 2 electrons. One electron in one hydrogen, another electron in another hydrogen. So to form a molecule, how many electrons they have? 2 electrons. Right? How can you fill these 2 electrons? Okay, in this we have to fill up. Okay, because for H2, He2, B, for this electron, this is the energy order. Right? So fill the electrons here. So we have filled these 2 electrons in this only. Okay, only in these molecular orbitals we are going to fill 1 and 1. After that we are going to pair up. But here we have to fill the 2 electrons only. So here we have filled 2 electrons now. So what is the stability of the molecule? Nb minus Ne. Nb minus Ne means 2 minus 0. We don't have any electrons in antibonding molecular orbitals. So 2 we got it. That means okay, the molecule is stable. Now what is the bond order? Bond order is half into Nb minus Na. What is the value of Nb minus Na? 2. So half into 2, 1. That means bond order is 1. What is the bond between H and H? Single bond. Alright? Then, so bond length means now we won't see. Whenever we are going to compare the molecules, I mean more than 2 molecules and all, then we write the bond length here. Then what is the magnetic nature here? Magnetic nature. Is there any unpaired electrons here? No, these 2 are filled. So then we can take it as a diamagnetic. Got it? Okay. So take anything from here. Suppose we take B2. Okay. B2 means how many electrons we have totally? 10 electrons. 5 plus 5, right? 5 plus 5 we have 10 electrons. Okay. Now fill up the 10 electrons in this. 2 electrons. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So 10 electrons got filled up. Now you see 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. 10 electrons got filled up. Now you see Nb minus Na. Nb minus Na means in bonding molecular orbitals, how many electrons we have? 2, 4, 5, 6. 6 electrons we have in Nb. Right? Nb is 6 electrons. Na antibonding molecular orbitals, how many electrons are there? 2, 2. That means 4 we have. 4. So how much we got it? 2. Right? Now what is the bond order? Bond order for B2? Half into Nb minus Na. How much we got it? 2 here. 2 got cancel. 1. So bond order of boron molecule is also diatomic molecule is also 1 only. That means B and B are singly bonded. That is a bond order. What is the magnetic nature here? Magnetic nature in B2 molecule. See here, in B2 molecule, what is the magnetic nature? Here the electrons are unpaired. Here the electrons are unpaired in B2 molecule. So this is, what is the magnetic nature of B2 now? This is paramagnetic. Paramagnetic. So see here which type of questions we may get from this chapter. So this topic, so they may ask you to find out bond order, bond length, and they may ask you to find out what is the magnetic nature of the diatomic molecule. Suppose now you are going to have suppose NO, you just take it NO, or you can take O2, you just take it, okay, because this is equal to 8. So that means this energy order will come. So we have to fill up the electrons in this now. Okay, so O2 means how many electrons we have totally? 16 electrons. 8 plus 8, 1 one oxygen atom electrons are 8 electrons, another oxygen atom electrons are 8 electrons. So totally how many electrons we have? 16 electrons. Now fill up the electrons in this order. Okay, not in this. Okay. Now just fill up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, 10, 12, 14, then 16. Okay, now we have 16. So that means we have done the pairing of electrons now. Now we just see how many electrons are there in bonding molecular orbitals, how many electrons are there in anti-bonding molecular orbitals. Bonding molecular orbitals electrons are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, that's it, no? 10 we have. So NB is 10. How many Na are there? Anti-bonding electrons, how many are there? 2, 4, 5, 6. 6 are there. So what is the NB minus Na? NB minus Na is 4. 4. Now what is the bond order? Okay. Bond order for oxygen is half into NB minus Na. What is the value? 4. 2 4s are 2. So that means bond order is 2. So what is the bond between the two oxygen atoms? Double bond. Now you see the magnetic nature of oxygen. What is the magnetic nature of oxygen? See here, the electrons are unpaired here. So you have not paired here. So that many electrons are not there to fill up. So that is paramagnetic in nature. Paramagnetic in nature. Okay. So these two energy orders are same for this heteronuclear atoms also. For suppose NO is there. NO means how many electrons? 7 plus 8, 15 electrons. Right? 8 plus 7. Yeah, 15 electrons. For 15 electrons also we are going to have this energy order. Okay, energy order. You have to fill the 15 electrons in this and you have to find out whether it is a paramagnetic or diamagnetic and what is the bond order. Okay. Suppose if we want to find out what is the bond length of NO, suppose we can write here. Suppose NO is there, NO plus 2, NO. One more thing I want to tell you is till 14 electrons. Before going to explain this one, I want to tell you that till 14 electrons, what happens is bond order increases by 0.5. That means 1 to 14 electrons, 10 to 14 electrons, what happens is the bond order increases by 0.5. That means suppose 12 electrons, bond order is 2, 13 electrons, bond order is 2.5, 14 electrons, bond order is 3. Okay, till 14 electrons, from 10 to 14, okay, from 8 electrons, 9 electrons, 10 electrons, from that till 14 electrons, what happens is bond order increases by 0.5, 2, 2.5, 3. Okay, that way. Sorry. Yeah, fine. 3. Now, what happens is after 14 electrons, that means 15, 16 electrons, what happens is bond order going to decrease. Why bond order is going to decrease? See here in these two energy orders till 14 electrons. That means till here, that means 14 electrons will come here. Till 14 electrons, what happens is the differentiating electron enters into the bonding molecular orbital. So the differentiating electron, what are the differentiating electron we are going to fill up? That till 14 electrons, what happens is the electron enters into the bonding molecular orbitals. So the bond order is going to increase. After 14 electrons, what happens is the differentiating electron is going to enter into the anti-bonding molecular orbital region. It's going to like that. So then what happens whenever the electron is entering into the anti-bonding molecular orbital, then the bond order will decrease. So whenever the bond order decreases, bond length increases. Now you see, directly we will find out. Okay. So how many electrons we have here? 15 electrons. This is 14 electrons because one electron is going out. Here 2 electrons are going out. So 13 electrons. NO minus, one more electron we are giving to this one. That means 16 electrons. Now you write the bond order. So what happens for 15 to 16? 15 electrons. Whenever 15 electrons we have, it will become again 2.5. 16 electrons we are going to have again 2. 17 electrons 1.5. This way. Okay. 18 electrons we are going to have 1. Like this we are going to write it. See here till 14 I have written 3. Then after 14 electrons, 15, 16, 17 and all, 2.5 decreased. So reason also I told you, right? Because differentiating electron is entering into the anti-bonding molecular orbitals. So here also anti-bonding molecular orbitals is going to enter into after 14 electrons. Okay. So now you write directly from here, you write the bond order here. NO 15 electrons. That means what is the bond order here? 2.5. Okay, NO plus 14 electrons. What is the bond order? 3. NO plus 2, 13 electrons. 13 electrons, what is the bond order? 2.5. Now, NO minus 16 electrons. What is the bond order here? 16 electrons bond order 2. Now, write the bond order of bond order. Okay, increasing order or decreasing order, whatever. See, first who is having, which molecule is having more bond order? This one. So first this molecule will come. That means NO plus. After that, which molecule is having a more bond order? 2.5. This is also having, and this is also having the same bond order. So we have to write NO is equal to NO plus 2. Next, 2 is there, right? This is NO minus. This is the bond order of bond order. Now you write the bond length. Bond length will be opposite to bond order. So bond order opposite is, now we look at here. Suppose bond length we are going to write. So opposite is NO minus is greater than NO, right? So NO, then bond length will be NO plus, next NO plus 2. So why we got like this? NO minus NO plus NO plus 2. Whenever we are going to lose, whenever the molecule is going to lose the electrons, that means see NO plus 2. So whenever it is losing its electrons, what happens is its size going to decrease. The size going to decrease. So what happens then? Bond length is also going to decrease. That's why see NO minus has a more size than NO. NO has a large size than NO plus. NO plus is having a greater size than NO plus 2. So then this is the bond length order. This is the bond order. Now you can find out for O2 minus, O2 minus. For that molecules also you can find out, and you can write the bond order, and you can write the bond length, and you can write the paramagnetic nature of, or paramagnetic or diamagnetic, whatever the magnetic nature of molecules you can write here. And we'll discuss some more concepts. Now we'll see in some more examples. Like suppose we have halogen atoms, dihalogen atoms, F2, Cl2, Br2, and okay, this type of diatomic molecules. So you know that how many total electrons we have here? 9 plus 9, 18 electrons. Here 34 plus 34 electrons. Then 70 electrons. This way, okay, you just calculated it, you know that, right? So now what is the valence electrons? Valence electrons in this. You know that this is 7th group element, right? So valence electrons will be 7. So here diatomic, so 7 plus 7, 14. Here also 14 electrons. I am talking about the valence electrons, 7th group. So only 7 electrons will be there in each atom. Fluorine, bromine, iodine. In these halogen atoms, valence electrons will be 7 only. So here the atomic molecules, I am not talking about the total electrons, I am talking about the valency electrons. So here also 14 electrons, here also 14 electrons will come. Now what is the bond order then? You know that bond order will be only 1 for it. We are going to have only 1 for the bond order for this. Now take suppose hydrogen halides, HF, HCl, HBr, HI. For this also you just calculate the electron H, 1 plus F, and that means 10 electrons. Okay, so this one will be 17 plus 1, so 18 electrons. So this one will be 35 plus 1, 36 electrons. Okay, calculate it, whatever. So now what is the valence electrons for this? It will be having 8 electrons. 8 valence electrons will be having it. So next, what is the bond order? 1. Okay, so bond order is same for all this. Now what is the bond length? I told you, whenever the distance, I mean whenever the size increases, then bond length is also increases. So now what is the bond length? So bond order is 1 for all. Now what is the bond length? What is the order of bond length? So I2 having a more size, that is a large big in size, so it has a more bond length than Br2, than Cl2, then F2. This is a bond length. Now we will see for HF, HCl, HBr, HI. What is the, here the bond order is 1 only. Then what is the bond length here? Bond length is HI is greater than HBr, HBr is greater than HCl, then HCl is greater than HI. This is the bond length. So okay, so we have find out what is the bond order in the atomic molecules and all. Now if they give you polyatoms means more than 2, then how can you find out the bond order? You see here, bond order for polyatomic molecules. Polyatomic molecules. Find out. So how can you find out the bond order? Bond order is equal to number of bonds divided by number of subatoms. Number of subatoms. Okay, so number of bonds, how many bonds it has formed, and number of subatoms it has. Suppose see here, suppose if they give you HeO2 F2, polyatoms, right, more than 2 atoms. So how can you find out here? First central atom is xenon, right? So central atom, how many valence electrons it has? 8 electrons. First you take 8 electrons here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you form the bonds with O2 and F2. You know that O forms double bond with He, right? So double bond means O will have double bond here. Double bond, that means 2 electrons it is taking. And F will take only 1 electron because single bond it forms. Okay, right? Now bond order, how can you find out here? Bond order for this, how many bonds are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 bonds are there. Now number of subatoms, how many subatoms are there? This is a central atom, subatoms are O2, F2. That means 4 subatoms we have. O's are 2, F's are 2. That means 4 subatoms we have. 6 by 4. How much we get here? 3's 2's, right? Then 2 1 just 1.5. What is the bond order here? 1.5. Okay, suppose O3, just take it. O3. For O3, how can you write here? Like this, right? Now, how many bonds are there? 1, 2, 3. 3 bonds are there. How many subatoms? 1, 2. only 2 subatoms are there. So this is also 1.5 bond order. Okay, some more will take ICl2 plus. Suppose ICl2 plus. So I is the center atom, right? How many electrons will be there? 7. But here plus is there, that means one electron has gone. So that means only 6 electrons will be there. Now form the bonds with this Cl, Cl. Now right here, how many bonds are there? 1, 2. Okay, 2 electrons. How many subatoms are there? 2. That means 1. So what is the bond order for ICl2 plus? That is 2 by 2 is equal to 1 is the bond order. So with this we are finished with the molecular orbital theory, and if you have any doubts, please let me know, and you can comment in the comment box. And if you like my videos and if you want more of my videos, you just like it, share it and subscribe it. Thank you.